this is how to absolutely crush with the Dutch defense. If your opponent plays d4, you will play f5. The most common move here will not be really like any of the... It'd be bishop f4, because they're trying to play the London. Now, what I would recommend to most beginners is just doing pretty much the same openings that you would, like, the same moves every game. So, like, not that. The first 5 moves, you want to play this. Here you can play b6, e6, or knight c6. I would play knight c6 because it's probably the most flexible out of the 3. Then if they finish their London style, then you should play d6 here. Even though the engine doesn't really like it, it helps you get this e5 break. See, the engine's liking it more now. If they castle, then I would recommend going queen to e8 to, once again, further the development of this e5 break. And already the computer is starting to think this is a better position for you. Bishop g3 here is the best move for them, anticipating e5. But pretty much after any move, you will play e5. They pretty much have to push e4 or take. After that, you'll take back with the pawn, and then if they go knight to g5 here, which is a pretty common move anticipating this fork, then you should go either knight h5 or h6, kicking out the knight, which now has to go back to f3. And here you should go knight h5 anyway. You cannot fork them because now they would give you a check and you go king h7, but you still have a good position. They will probably play bishop c4 check here, and then you go either king h8 or 7. King h7 is probably a bit better. If they try to not trade with you by going bishop g4, you will go g5, and if they go back here, then take a break for a minute and play king to h8. They have to move this bishop here, and if you're anything below like 12, 13, 14, 1500, they'll probably play bishop to b5, because, you know, they're not going to put it on c2. And at this point, you can play f4, e takes f4, e takes f4, and you have trapped the bishop. Rook e1 will probably be played here. You will just slide the queen to g6, and then bishop h4 to get something like this. But the best move here is actually bishop to f6, realizing the bishop isn't going anywhere. And then bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop takes c6, b takes c6, and now knight to e5. If they play the regular Dutch with c4, you will do the same move order as before. And then this, castles. Most people as white here will play knight to f3. Then you will play d6, castles, queen e8, readying up for the e5 break, like before. They might play d5 thinking they're so smart, but then you're going to slap them in the face with c6, and if they take, then this, and it's pretty good for you now. Actually, b takes c6 appears to be better here. Or knight a6 to try to go knight c5, which the engine likes. And even here, you still have ideas of c6 and e5, because If they take, you get all your pieces out. And this pawn is also hanging. More realistically, they'll play something like knight d4, and then you can go knight c5. And then bishop e3 here. And then either bishop takes e6 or knight takes e6. I would probably play knight takes e6, and then if they take back, and it's a pretty equal position. Side note, they can't take this pawn on b6, because if you go rook b8, and then if they try to protect, then you'll take this pawn, and now it's minus 0.5.